Okay, so it seems like the whole VShojo situation just keeps on getting worse, and I have a couple of videos that I need to make on this because, again, there is so much stuff to uncover and unpack. There's been people leaving the company, there's been people, exposing things to do with the company, and obviously this is all after a post made by Ironmouse, essentially saying that she's leaving VShojo, or that she's left VShojo. Obviously you can see the VShojo tag is no longer there on her name, and obviously she made this video called Why I Left VShojo, which absolutely blew up in the space, which is great because obviously this now kind of promotes more, awareness, I guess, to her, what is going on with her, and also what is going on with the Immune Deficiency Foundation, the company, or not the company, the charity, sorry, that has been stolen from by VShojo, which is absolutely horrible. I mean, I don't see how any company could ever do that, especially in the amount of over $500,000, almost $500,000, which is absolutely insane. And I think that, obviously a lot of people have been supporting Ironmouse, and I think that's great. And I think that, there have been so many people speaking up about this, which I will all cover in different videos. But today we're talking about another situation with VShojo, which makes them look even worse. And this is coming from ShibaIo. Now, Kaho isn't, your random person who is like uncredible or anything. Kaho is, very well involved in the community. She's got over 800,000 followers. Obviously, she has done some other kind of work, if you guys know what I mean. But also she's kind of switched now over to like Twitch, and has been hanging out with a lot of people, including, people like Connor, who is friends with Ironmouse and stuff like that. And she is now actually kind of exposed a person in the VTuber company, in VShojo, essentially saying this person moved from a noted VTuber company to another as a staff last year, bragging about his new income. He fostered me a few of his new business cards to give to my good contacts. I found the action obnoxiously rude, but maybe he was too young and friendly to know better. Then he wanted to meet up for tax advice because I'm a native in Japan and I hire an accountant. I was asked to have dinner in his area, which was quite far from me, splitting the bill. That day I got convinced I didn't like the guy. Yet, because I loved the talents he worked with, I was only secretly hoping he would lose his job one day. Recently, I had heard from another creator that he was showing photos of VTubers' real selves while revealing their personal info like marital status. I now know to find a way to warn other employees. Today, I've learned the most despicable stuff coming from the company has done to their talent. Don't know if he's involved with it. Yet all my personal grudge is nothing compared to such betrayal. Sometimes, unfortunately, managers or agencies can be the talent's worst enemy. Please always support the talent first, which again is very interesting. And obviously, people have been speculating whether this is actually to do with VShojo, and I think it is, due to the fact of what she said about, today I've learned the most despicable stuff coming from the company and what they've done to their talent. I feel like this is 100% VShojo. Obviously, people have even put in the comments here saying which agencies. Obviously, they said VShojo. They said she should say that. If she does, it becomes slander and defamation without proof. She could be held liable in court, which obviously, that is definitely a valid reason behind that. Obviously, she could find herself in some trouble if she was to mention VShojo by name, if, there was something that wasn't, true, or, was kind of made up a little bit, because I feel like this is just a recounting on her kind of half without any kind of, obviously they haven't provided any evidence here or whatsoever, but obviously with the bad rep that VShojo is getting, it doesn't surprise me that they've got a guy out here who is pretty much straight up doxing VTubers. And obviously you guys know on this channel, I've covered a lot of situations of VTubers being doxed. It's absolutely horrible. The kind of things that can happen to someone when they get doxed is horrible, and it can get really bad. And obviously even revealing stuff like personal info and things like that is absolutely disgusting as well. I mean, all of these VTubers obviously keep themselves as anonymous as possible for a reason, because they don't want to be in the public light. And this person's out here exposing their faces, exposing, obviously their marital statuses, their personal info to just random people just because they think they can get in. And I think I exactly know why this is. This isn't to be like, I don't think they're on purpose trying to be nefarious to VTubers in general. Obviously it is a very, it's absolutely disgusting what they've done. But at the same time, I think, what he's been doing here, or what she's been doing here, whatever the person's been doing here, I think what they've been doing is trying to get like a one-up rapport with like some bigger creators or something, and then using this as leverage to be like, hey, you know, you've seen this, and then giving it to them. And obviously some people, you know, there are some people out there who for some reason want to see that kind of stuff, and it's just like, okay, bro. You know, I've talked about this before with, for example, like the Shy Lily situation, where a group of Cinder fans, you know, did the same thing. They leaked her face. Obviously, they didn't leak, did the leaking themselves, but they found websites doing that, and you know, shared it around their group and things, and decided to like mock her appearance. And you know, you can see how bad it can get, especially depending on who this person is talked to, because I don't even know if it's just like, you know, other big kind of content creators that they've, you know, shared this information to, or if it's maybe, you know, fans or, you know, smaller content creators, which could do anything with this information that comes out. Because again, a lot of people want to stay private with their information. I don't think it's that hard to understand. And obviously, it is a big problem being a content creator, keeping your information private, because everything on about your life is so, you know, out there on social media. You know, you just want to keep a couple of things to yourself. And well, obviously, Kaho has you know, kind of shown off that it might not all be you know, that good. Obviously, people saying, if you know about this guy, why didn't you speak up earlier? Revealing VTuber's information is dangerous to them. It just looks like you joined the bandwagon when it became relevant. Is it actually, I just came back from the US where I gathered the info that he was still with the company, and I was actually meeting up with someone who's been working with him in Japan this week. Given that it's a story I have from someone else, I thought it was best to do so in person, which again is definitely interesting. People saying you're posting about an agency without mentioning actually which agency this is, and I feel like revealing the VTuber's identity is a pretty big allegation, and you should have mentioned it before. Obviously, I think it is, you know, due to the slander kind of laws and stuff. As they say, you know, Japan definitely does have, you know, much stricter laws when it comes to that kind of stuff. So you can really get screwed if you do mention these companies by name. Obviously, you know, people saying, so the company has been corrupt to their talents for a while now, huh? I said, talked about VShojo. And obviously, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is VShojo. Obviously, she doesn't mention them by name, but obviously with the kind of timing of it, this literally came out a couple of minutes after Ironmouse's one. I think it was like 20-30 minutes after Ironmouse released her video and her tweets and stuff saying, you know, to the community, I love you dearly. Obviously, it's got 6 million views now. It's been it's been a big topic. I mean, this has transcended kind of just the VTubing space. It's now gone into the wider content creation space as well, which I think is absolutely insane. And obviously, there's been a lot of support on all of the videos, which I think is great. And I think that hopefully Ironmouse can bring up all of the, you know, more funds, and, you know, get even more funds that you know, VShojo holding, and hopefully she can win back that money from them as well. But I think, yeah, in the case of Shibuya Kaho, this is extremely weird, and I hope that obviously VShojo does the right thing and fires this person, or speaks with Kaho, finds out who it is, and then, you know, deals with it accordingly. Because again, obviously, it's a big issue. It's, you know, this person is still actively working at the company. This isn't someone who was like ex VShojo and has been fired, I don't think. Obviously, they're saying this person is from a noted VTuber company, moved from a noted VTuber company to another as staff. So again, I think they are in VShojo currently. I think obviously they have kind of worded it a little bit weirdly there. So I think they are currently still a part of VShojo. So it would be interesting to see if they do get rid of that person or do make a statement about that, because that is some pretty big accusations that are going on there. And obviously that is probably one of the biggest ones you could get in terms of VTubers. You know, that is one of the issues that a lot of people have with VTubing, is stuff like doxing and kind of revealing of information, which is like the last thing any VTuber would want to happen, and it sucks. And this has got a lot of views as well. It's got 1.4 million views. So obviously it seems like, you know, they definitely have seen it. You know, VShojo probably have seen this, and, you know, I'm hoping that they respond to it. But again, as we know, they aren't exactly the best of companies now, are they? You know, obviously, I've always said before, you know, VShojo are like the only good one. You know, they actually do things kind of right with the IP, but you can't even say that anymore due to everything that has gone on. Obviously, a lot of the stuff that they've done towards Ironmouse and things like that have been absolutely horrible. And yeah, I just hope that this situation does get better and that this person does get exposed. But yeah, I've got more videos coming out, you know, later today and probably even tomorrow as well, talking about some leaves in VShojo. It seems like a lot of the VShojo members are taking a stand with Ironmouse, which I think is really great to see. So I'll be covering all of that. And there's even more reactions from some people as well. that are involved in the community, which I think I want to talk about too, and kind of keep you guys up to date with what is going on. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off again. And also go support the Ironmouse charity. I'll leave a link down below in the description to where you guys can go and donate to that, because again, you guys went over there pretty heavily in my last video about this situation. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.